she makes everything so difficult. She has to be super grand when really she's a nobody. She's just hanging on to the tails of Harry just to have a title.
Did Meghan Markle change her name on baby Archie's birth certificate?
Breaking today, the corrupt mainstream media and royal rota are spinning Prince Harry's dud flop meeting with King Charles to try and clear the way for Meghan Markle's return.
Meghan didn't want to do what Kate had done. She didn't want to come out, within hours of giving birth or the day after, with full hair and makeup. So they chose another hospital.
Angela Levin has just dropped a bombshell that has set the royal world on fire. She's made explosive claims about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's children's legitimacy, and the fallout has been nothing short of chaotic. The moment these allegations hit the headlines, the media went into overdrive, and what started as speculation has now spiraled into a full-blown frenzy. Harry, clearly rattled, has been lashing out with aggressive legal responses, threatening lawsuits left and right. But here's the thing, every time he fights back, it seems to make the public even more suspicious. People are now asking, if there's nothing to hide, why such a defensive stance? And that question alone is fueling whispers of a potential constitutional crisis, because if the legitimacy of Harry and Meghan's children is brought into question, the ripple effects on the monarchy could be seismic. Guys, you'd better buckle up, because the tea I am about to spill is one of the wildest royal dramas to come out this year. This isn't just about family drama anymore. This could shake the very foundations of the monarchy. In a shocking twist that nobody saw coming, Prince Harry is now at the center of a legal and PR firestorm after royal biographer Angela Levin recently made an explosive claim. And trust me guys, this wasn't just casual tea spilling. Levin outright questioned the legitimacy of Harry and Meghan Markle's children, Archie and Lilibet, sending shockwaves not just through the media, but straight into the heart of the monarchy itself. Now, Levin didn't mince words. She raised pointed questions about why Harry and Meghan broke away from long-standing royal traditions when it came to their children's births. Remember, royal baby arrivals are usually steeped in protocol, public hospital photos, signed medical bulletins, and transparent timelines. But with Archie and Lilibet, none of that happened. Levin's calm but razor-sharp delivery left viewers stunned, planting seeds of doubt that are now fueling one of the biggest controversies the royal family has faced in decades. And here's why this is more than just gossip. Levin's claims strike at the monarchy's very foundation, legitimacy. The entire institution rests on the idea of an unbroken, unquestioned bloodline. If people start doubting that, even for a second, it doesn't just embarrass Harry and Meghan. Now, Angela's commentary didn't just stir gossip. It actively fed into a wave of speculation and unsupported rumors, with whispers that Archie and Lilibet had actually been born through surrogacy. With all this drama, things were sent into overdrive when Levin started demanding proof. Reports indicated she wanted nothing less than a DNA test to put the matter to rest. But it didn't stop there. Just months earlier, in June, Levin had gone even further, alleging that Meghan misled the public about Lilibet's very existence, claiming that shared photos looked digitally altered. Then, in July, she predicted that Archie and Lilibet would grow up resenting their parents for cutting them off from their royal heritage. And let's not forget, back in early 2024, Levin had already criticized Harry and Meghan for naming their daughter after Queen Elizabeth's private nickname, Lilibet, a move many royal watchers saw as tone-deaf at best and manipulative at worst. Now guys, here's where things get even messier. In the article she wrote for Sky News, Angela Levin straight up questioned the story Harry and Meghan have been pushing about baby Lilibet's name. Did the late Queen Elizabeth actually give them her blessing to use Lilibet, her most intimate and cherished nickname, or didn't she? Remember, Harry and Meghan publicly said the Queen approved. But here's the twist. Levin wasn't buying it. She pointed out how surprising it was that Her Majesty would ever allow it. Lilibet wasn't just any pet name. It came from the Queen herself as a child, when she couldn't pronounce Elizabeth. It became a family treasure, and more importantly, a symbol of Prince Philip's lifelong love for her. Then, the bombshell. The BBC reported they heard from palace insiders that the Queen had not actually given permission permission. Instead, Harry and Meghan supposedly told her about it after the fact. And when that story broke, the Sussexes went into full damage control mode, accusing the BBC of libel, sending lawyers after the media, and insisting the claim was false and defamatory. But here's the kicker. Buckingham Palace was asked to back Harry and Meghan's version of events, and they flat out declined. And those big legal threats, yeah, they never went anywhere. Fast forward, and the issue exploded again thanks to Robert Hardman's biography, Charles III, New King, New Court, the inside story. In it, he quotes palace aides saying they'd never seen the Queen so angry. One source even recalls her saying, "The only thing I own is my name." And now they've taken that chills, right? To make it even worse, reports surfaced that Harry and Meghan had registered domains like lilybetdiana.com and lilydiana.com shortly after the birth, sparking outrage over whether they planned to use the Queen's private nickname for commercial gain. And as Levin points out, that would have devastated Her Majesty. But the contradictions don't stop there. Harry once told Levin himself, back when she was writing his biography, how much he adored his grandmother. So why risk hurting her like this? And let's not forget, in April 2022, Harry popped in to see the Queen before heading to the Invictus Games, later telling NBC's Today Show he wanted to make sure she was protected and had the right people around her. Protected from who, Harry? Palace aides? His own family? He never explained. And while Harry was talking about their special relationship, Meghan was busy mocking royal traditions in their Netflix docuseries. Remember that cringy, exaggerated curtsy and giggles? Levin didn't mince words. She called it flat out disrespectful. Now, Harry's response to all this was swift and aggressive. Instead of releasing medical records or official documentation that could have instantly squashed the speculation, he doubled down with legal threats. His team fired off cease and desist letters alleging defamation and harassment. But this hardline strategy completely backfired. Rather than silencing the critics, Harry's actions only stoked the fire. Public opinion began to shift dramatically. People started asking, if there's truly nothing to hide, why not just prove it? Commentators mocked his heavy-handed tactics, with one even quipping that Harry seemed to be suing everyone while looking guilty of everything. The irony was brutal. In trying to protect his family's image, Harry had inadvertently magnified the very rumors he was desperate to suppress. Anyways, this is where things take a truly dangerous turn, because the implications of Angela Levin's claims aren't just about scandal or tabloid gossip, they cut to the very heart of the monarchy itself. Legal experts are now openly discussing what would happen if it were ever proven that Archie and Lilibet weren't Harry and Meghan's biological children. And the answer? It could spark nothing less than a constitutional crisis. The monarchy survives on one principle: the certainty of bloodlines. Shake that foundation, and the entire institution starts to crumble. And as the media frenzy grew louder, Harry's mental state reportedly began to unravel. Insiders described him pacing the halls of his Montecito mansion, restless, angry, and consumed by paranoia. Meghan, once the strategist behind every Sussex media move, has been noticeably quieter, almost fading into the background, leaving Harry to absorb the brunt of the backlash alone. Meanwhile, Levin hasn't let up. She's been everywhere. TV panels, interviews, podcasts, calmly and coolly repeating her claims, and in doing so, cementing herself as the voice of authority in this royal firestorm. Her composed, almost surgical delivery has made Harry look even worse by comparison. While he lashes out with threats, she's been measured and unflinching. The optics? Brutal. And then came the moment that sent shockwaves through Harry's camp. Levin hinted that if Harry's rumored secret lawsuit moves forward, it could actually force the release of documents that might blow his entire narrative apart. Translation: the very evidence he's been scrambling to bury could end up being dragged into the light for the whole world to see. That single suggestion reportedly rattled Harry's inner circle to its core. Amidst all this chaos, one detail stood out more than anything else. The royal family's silence was deafening. Buckingham Palace didn't rush to Harry's defense. They didn't even issue a supportive statement, let alone offer a carefully worded no comment. Instead, palace insiders allegedly made it clear that Harry created this storm, and he's the one who needs to clean it up. And that silence spoke volumes. For a man who once relied on the institution as his shield, the lack of backing only deepened Harry's isolation. He wasn't just battling Angela Levin, the media, and the court of public opinion. He was battling alone. As the scandal snowballed, public sentiment shifted dramatically. The sympathy that once surrounded Harry, the image of a man wronged by the crown, began to dissolve. Social media erupted with mockery as memes and biting commentary painted him not as a victim, but as a figure of ridicule. Hashtags like #HarryLawsuitScandal started trending, dragging his credibility further through the mud. The narrative had officially flipped. Harry was no longer seen as the brave prince standing up to tradition. He was becoming the man whose entire story was unraveling under scrutiny, one headline at a time. But as the dust begins to settle, one thing is crystal clear. Angela Levin's revelations haven't just embarrassed Harry, they've cracked wide open the polished image he and Meghan have worked so hard to curate. What once looked like a story of independence and reinvention now seems riddled with holes, and Levin is making it clear she's nowhere near finished. She's hinting that even more bombshells are on the way, keeping the Sussexes in a constant state of dread. Harry's legal offensives, once framed as a noble attempt to shield his family's reputation, are now being seen in a very different light. Instead of silencing critics, these lawsuits could end up dragging hidden truths into the spotlight, truths that might have devastating long-term consequences for the Sussexes and their standing within the monarchy. This is no longer just about gossip or scandal. It's about survival. In this high-stakes war of narratives, Harry isn't just defending his name, he's fighting for his place in history. And with the tide of public opinion turning against him, he may be waging a battle he simply cannot win. Anyway, so what do you think about this drama? Let me know your opinions in the comments, and don't forget to check out our other videos to ensure you are all up to date with all the latest drama. Till next time, bye.